Right, 26 January 2020, and I apologize for the slight delay in starting this live. I know a lot of you have been waiting to hear what I'm going to say about Douglas Mwonzora's call for dialogue. So what happened is that this week, in fact, yesterday, Douglas Monzora went and spoke to the Daily News. And in that article, he is calling for an inclusive dialogue. So he wants a dialogue between himself and Idi Mnangagwa. And I want to be specific. The dialogue is going to be between MDCT and ZANU-PF, and then other people will be allowed to join. So people like National Chamisa, the civic organizations, the churches, he wants them to come in, but principally because he says they are the official opposition. The dialogue is going to be between Douglas Monzora and Idi Mnangagwa as the leaders, and then everybody else is going to come in later on. So basically, this is what the dialogue is about. But immediately after that newspaper article came out, this was rejected offhand by Nelson Chamisa's people, specifically Secretary General Charlton Wende. He tweeted a long tweet and says the outfit calling itself MDCT was created by ZANU-PF and Mnangagwa himself. He funded the so-called Extraordinary Congress, provided Zupco buses at the HICC as the venue of the Extraordinary Congress. He provided soldiers that helped them to grab our headquarters. His Minister of Finance, on ED's instructions, diverted money from the budget that was allocated to MDC Alliance, violating a Supreme Court order that had stopped disbursement of the funds. Jacob Ndenda, a Politburo member acting on ED's instructions, stole our MPs and gave them to MDCT, a party that had contested elections and only managed to win one seat. So what national dialogue is this paper talking about? ZANU-PF and this ZANU-PF light going to be Monica MDCT must stop misleading the nation. So this is emphatic. The MDC Alliance does not want a dialogue that includes Douglas Monzora. They do not want to talk to Douglas Monzora at the same time that they're talking to ED. And in fact, what they want is to talk to ED himself directly. So I know that the people want to join. If you want to join, you have to WhatsApp me, calling me on help. I will send you the link if you WhatsApp me. So please don't call, just WhatsApp me. I'll send you the link if you want to join this conversation. So anyway, I think let us go into what Monzora wants. And I hope that, and I was wishing that Monzora's people would be here so that we can talk about this. They could come live and explain this. So the outcomes that Monzora is looking for here, he's open to a GNU. So that is what he said. A GNU, he's open to that idea. If Idi Mnangagwa was going to come today and say, let's have a GNU, Monzora is open to it. However, he's also open to other things. For example, he's open to the postponement of the 2023 elections. So I want you guys to read this article, which is there on Daily News. In his own words, he says that he's open to speeding up of the 2023 elections. So I don't understand what they mean when they say speeding up or the holding of elections in 2023. So my understanding of that is that Monzora is open to the election not happening in 2023 if that is the outcome of the dialogue. So if it was to happen that Mnangagwa says, let's not have the elections in 2023, Monzora will not have a problem with that. He'll be willing to consider, if that is what is discussed between himself, the churches, civic organizations, if they all agree that let's not hold the elections in 2023, he will be open to that. Then he also talks about traditional leaders. He says that traditional leaders must be allowed to be apolitical. At the moment, they are actually working as ZANU-PF agents. So if you see a traditional leader in a rural area, they're also working for ZANU-PF. Basically, if you oppose a traditional leader, you're opposing ZANU-PF in the rural areas. Now, I've talked a lot to people who are very close to Nelson Chamisa, and what they've told me is that there is zero chances of a dialogue between Chamisa and Mwonzora. Chamisa does not want to talk to Mwonzora, and Chamisa's people do not want to talk to Mwonzora. In fact, what they said to me is that Mwonzora has hurt so many people. So the amount of division between Mwonzora's people and Chamisa's people is so deep, and it's at a personal level, to the extent that it's not even a likelihood that if Mwonzora was to approach Chamisa or his people, they would not even consider talking to Mwonzora. So Mwonzora has an uphill battle. He is in a very, very difficult position because Chamisa won't talk to him, and ED has not approached him. If he was to approach ED, he is very weakened because his party, the MDCT, is not strong. As you are aware, Dr. Thokozani Kupe has refused to accept defeat. So she's not conceding. She is still claiming that there is a problem with the Extraordinary Congress. She did not lose. Morgan Committee is talking about unity, but is not openly coming out to support Douglas Monzora. So there is a big problem in the MDCT. The MDCT is very, very weak. So the only way that Monzora can be rescued at the moment is if there were negotiations and if he was to be placed in an official government position. So if somehow ED was to be able to place Monzora officially in a certain capacity, then he will be able to have some leg to stand on. At the moment, he's very, very weak inside the party and outside the party. So this is the situation that we have at the moment. Monzora has proposed that he's going to approach Idi Mnangagwa for dialogue. He's also going to approach other parties, civic organizations for dialogue. But unfortunately, it seems that Chamisa doesn't want to talk to him, and there's no way that people surrounding Chamisa are going to agree to such a dialogue. So let me quickly look at the comments here. I do not want to take long today. I just want to quickly talk. Right. Nemia says Monzora is irrelevant in the political arena in Zimbabwe. This is a position that is held very, very tightly by people in the MDCT. They do not see Monzora as someone who can become a leader when Chamisa is still there. One-on-one, if you follow Chamisa, you will fail. He keeps making a spectacle of himself. I think he's foolish. I don't think so. I think Chamisa, no matter what we can say, Chamisa is a key part of the politics in Zimbabwe. We can talk about his strategies and all those kind of things. But when it comes to the current political leaders and looking for a future solution in Zimbabwe, you can't talk about a solution in Zimbabwe and then say Chamisa won't be there. If you really want to solve the problems in Zimbabwe and you want to be inclusive, then you have to put Chamisa somewhere in the mix. And that is where the problem is. Monzora and Chamisa. Monzora cannot go in and say I'm the official opposition when he was not the candidate. So it's either you have Chamisa in as the leader or you have Monzora in, but Chamisa out. You cannot have both of them in. That is where the difficulty is. Chamisa will not be allowed by his people to go into such an arrangement. Right, no Chamisa, no Gambakwe media, of course, because we're talking about serious politics here. Imagine if I started talking about some strange political party that you do not know. We're talking about the real issues that are happening, and that is why we talk about Chamisa. Then which other fellow opposition? Good question. Who else will Monzora talk to if he does not talk to Chamisa? Very, very important question. This is a situation that demands leadership. The period where we are now, we are entering a period of compromise. If you don't compromise, you're going to lose out, especially the people that are currently holding positions. Mnangagwa needs to compromise, Monzora needs to compromise, Kupe needs to compromise, Chamisa needs to compromise. We are entering a period of coalitions. No one person at the moment is strong enough to do it by themselves. They need each other. What is lacking is someone who can come and negotiate and make these people see that they need each other. That is where we have a problem. Then, right, let's look at this one. Chamisa is relevant and significant as far as Zimbabwe politics is concerned. Yes, that's true. So that's what I'm saying here. We have the right frame of mind. So what Monzora is saying is correct, that there needs to be dialogue. The problem is he the right person to lead that dialogue from the opposition side? That is the question that he needs to answer. That is the question that the people surrounding Monzora need to answer. Are they really the people that can lead the dialogue for a lasting solution in Zimbabwe? If we say Monzora has led the dialogue, is he the person that we're looking for? And that question is very, very important. So at the moment, Monzora says, I am the one who was elected at the Extraordinary Congress. The question is that Extraordinary Congress what is going to determine the future of Zimbabwe or something else? So that question needs to be answered in this period that we're entering. And 2021 is the year when many, many things are going to happen. However, there is a potential that Monzora can go through to the dialogue, get the 2023 elections postponed, sit in the government until 2027. That is the other option that he's got. But if he doesn't have that, if he doesn't take that option, if he wants the option of inclusive negotiations, it won't work because Chamisa's people are adamant. Even the people I've talked to, they are hurt at a personal level. They say the things that Monzora has done to us, they are unforgivable. So every time I talk to someone who is coming from the Monzora, from the Chamisa side, they always end up with, there's no way that we can negotiate with Monzora. We would rather go directly and talk to Mnangagwa than talk to Monzora. So Monzora has that hurdle to pass. He has to convince people that he's someone that you can negotiate with. Otherwise, he has to I don't know how he's going to do it. And then obviously the issues, I think, let me go into the issues. And besides the fact that people from Chamisa side don't want to talk to Monzora, there's also the issue of Polad. If Monzora is saying that he needs dialogue, what is he saying about Polad? Is he saying that there's need to dissolve Polad? How is that going to be done? Because Mnangagwa has said there is only one dialogue in Zimbabwe, and that is through Polad. And Polad at the moment only has presidential candidates. Monzora was not a presidential candidate. How is that going to work? Is Kupe going to allow Monzora to come in his position? So we have a very, very difficult position for the MDCT, recently elected MDCT president, Douglas Monzora. He is having problems internally, and he needs this dialogue to start so that he can get an official position in government and he'll be able to distribute resources. So this is where we are. Monzora badly needs this dialogue But the MDC alliance of Nelson Chamisa is looking at talking directly to Mnangagwa. They do not want to talk to anyone else at the moment. They've made it clear they want to talk only to Mnangagwa at the moment. The problem is Mnangagwa also doesn't want to talk to them. So Mnangagwa doesn't want to talk to Chamisa. He's saying, come to Polad. But Polad is dead. So we're in a situation where everything is just relying on Mnangagwa. Everyone wants to talk to Mnangagwa. Kupe wants to talk to Mnangagwa. Monzora wants to talk to Mnangagwa. Chamisa wants to talk to Mnangagwa. But none of them want to talk to each other. Right. I think we've covered this topic. I don't want to keep going. I'm just going to end this discussion here. I'm getting a lot of messages, but people don't want to come online. So people are talking to me about the topic, but they do not want to come and show their faces. This topic is so emotional to the guys from MDC Alliance. They feel betrayed. They feel Monzora has done something unforgivable, and they're not going to have dialogue with him. So we're in a very, very difficult position, but we're battling this dialogue as a nation so that we can move forward. Right, so I am done for the day. I'll be back tomorrow. Please go and have a look at the interview we had yesterday with Tinashe Jonazi on the US ambassador. Very, very interesting. I suggest that you go and look at that long 1 hour and 20 minutes interview. But for today, I just want to end this discussion here. And one-on-one is saying ED 2023. I do not think this election is going to happen in 2023. A lot is going to happen. People that you are seeing in government, they're not going to be there. Probably, if they're there, we're going to see a postponement of that election. That is my prediction. That election in 2023, either going to be postponed, moved forward, or moved back to 2023, to 2027. And what we need now is a new kind of leader, someone that is action-oriented, someone who makes a decision. At the moment, Mnangagwa is just sitting back. He's not doing anything about the dialogue. He's not doing much. You saw what we were talking about yesterday. The Motlande Commission is not doing anything about it. He's just sitting back and watching to see what is going to happen. But I think COVID is going to be a big, big game changer. In 2023, we'll be talking a different language, and we'll be talking about different people altogether. So this is something to watch. What happened last week? 4 ministers gone in 1 week. Unexpected. It's a black swan event, and more is coming. There's more that is going to come, and we need a new kind of leader so that we can have change in Zimbabwe. You're saying, what's your constitutional base for moving elections beyond 2023? I think you should go and research, Wellington, you should go and research the proposal by the churches of a Sabbath or 7-year Sabbath. Go and look at that proposal. I said when they came out with that proposal that this is the best thing that has ever happened in Zimbabwe. As we move towards 2023 and as events start to unfold, you are going to see people moving towards that 7-year Sabbath. It's possible. A constitution is not cast in stone. You will see it being changed. People are going to start looking for solutions. Just going with Mnangagwa alone or Chamisa alone, it won't work. So there is a need for a period, a cooling down period. And I am seeing this happening naturally, and also it can happen when people sit down and talk. But at the moment, the opposition is not ready. The opposition is the biggest problem. They're not united. And honestly speaking, I don't see a leader among the opposition at the moment. The leaders that are there, they're only interested in themselves. No one wants to compromise among the opposition. And that is making Mnangagwa stronger and stronger, especially this issue of dialogue. You can't say, I want to go in dialogue with Mnangagwa, but I don't want to talk to anyone in the opposition. This is basically what everybody is saying. Everyone in the opposition is saying, I'll talk to Mnangagwa, but I won't talk to Chamisa. I'll talk to Mnangagwa, but I won't talk to Monzora. So basically, each person with his little group of supporters, they are making these demands among the opposition. And this is the legacy of Morgan Tsvangirai. Morgan Tsvangirai left splinters of parties everywhere. Tendai Biti had his own, Job Scala had his own. Now we have got Tokozani Kupe, Douglas Monzora, Welshman Ngube, Nelson Chamisa. You can imagine how many political parties we have in the opposition. There is no way you can win an election if you don't have one uncontested leader in the opposition. And this is where we are. We can say a lot, we can speak a lot, but this is the problem. The problem is not only in ZANU-PF. The problem is also within our opposition. We have very, very weak leaders. Most of these guys, they've not tested real leadership. They were thrust upon us from the history of the MDC. We're told that this person was there when the MDC was formed, but they do not really have leadership skills. They've never done anything big. The only thing that they know is I was in the MDC, I joined the MDC, I was there when this happened, but they do not really know what true leadership, transformational leadership is all about. Right, I think this is it. I'm done with this discussion, but I keep getting comments which I need to respond to. I think what we need to do is let's let this settle down. I'm going to get someone from Monzora side. I'm going to get someone from Chamisa side to come here and we have a chat as time goes on. I wish Fadzema Mahero was feeling better, then we would call her and she'll give us some answers. But I understand she's still suffering from COVID. And also Witness Dube from the MDCT side. I don't seem to be able to get hold of him to come and speak on behalf of the MDCT. So we have serious problems, both political parties failing to start off 2021 properly. Chamisa had said he was going to talk between 21 and 26 of January. He has failed to come out and speak. I don't know what happened there. They failed to hold the strategy sessions. So basically the opposition parties are not able to do much. Right, I think this is it. This is all I need to say today. Thank you very much for watching, and please go and watch that interview I had yesterday with Tinashe Jonasi. Very, very interesting about sanctions, about the US ambassador. I think this is where things are. ZANU-PF is probably going to be the strongest party going in 2023. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back again tomorrow to talk about another topic. Good night.